Max Real Estate Concept Studios. This is Webcast One Live.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
Well, good morning. This is the 7th of June in the Lord's year 2010, and this is day one of WebcastOneLive.com. We will begin with Max World Live with my special guest, Tom Coates. In just a minute, there's Tom. Wait. Howdy. And we will be live for the very first time on Webcast One Live. Someday we're going to look back on this and say, gosh, remember that old day in history? Wonder where Walter Cronkite was. He must have been around hanging there too. But actually, it's the beginning of Webcast One Live. And thank you for listening. Thanks, Rob Spearman, and everybody who's put together this project together. And we're ready to go live now. So thanks for listening to MaxWorldLive.com.
I can't tell you that it's going real well from time to time, but it is going.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
So many news stories, so little time. I tell you, you can't read it all anymore. And that's just the Des Moines Register. Gosh. Well, we're going to talk about GMOs tonight, about some of the events happening surrounding the World Food Prize. Yeah, there's the official scene. There's also quite a bit happening on the other side of the GMO coin. We're going to talk about that tonight. But first, I got to thank the groups that make this show possible, and you should thank them too, folks. Heck, maybe you should even become a member of the Sierra Club, or the Physicians for Social Responsibility, or, well, you don't really become a member of, but you can march with the Great March for Climate Action. Think about that. I also want to thank Gateway Market & Cafe for sponsoring this segment of our show. They're at 20th and Woodland in the Sherman Hill neighborhood. They're our local grocery store, and they're always, in addition to providing a great service, they do some great community work as well. Check them out, folks, at 20th and Woodland. I also want to thank the Immigrant Entrepreneur Summit. That is coming right up on November 9th. That's at Drake University. If you have an idea for a business, if you've got something kicking around in your skull and you think it could work, well, they'll give you the detail on how, with social media training, with stuff on the Affordable Health Care Act. $35 for an entire day of great workshops. That's at Drake University on November 9th, iesusa.org. So, who are some of the other businesses that make the show possible? Well, there's N-Touch Therapy Services. That's Kim Foley's business. She's a massage and physical therapist. Normally $50 an hour for a full body massage, and I've been going to her for 4 years, and I am one of the reasons my health is glowing is because of Kim Foley. Check her out. If you're a first-time customer, she'll do it for $40 for an hour-long massage. That's Kim Foley with N-Touch Therapy Services at 979-8629. I'm pretty sure that's the right number. It's on my website in case I was off by a digit. Anyway, I also want to thank CPA, Community CPA and Associates at 3816 Ingersoll Ave. I just got done doing my taxes. I had to file an extension. Also, Ritual Cafe at 13th and Locust, one of my other great business supporters. Okay, Folks, I want to welcome you to the Fallon Forum today, and we kick off the conversation with Mary Hansen Harrison. She's with the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. Later in the program, Frances Moore LaPay will join us. I am so honored to have Frances on the program. She was an inspiration of mine back in the 1970s when I read Diet for a Small Planet, not once, not twice, but 3 times. We'll have her on the program calling in from San Francisco in just a bit. But first, I want to talk with Mary because there is more activity than ever on the other side of the agribusiness and GMO conversation than ever before. I mean, usually the World Food Prize draws some conversation about that. This year, it's ramped up in a big way. Mary, why is that? What is happening?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. And thank you for giving us a venue to tell you a little bit about the activities. Now, the WILF, as we call Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, WILF.
It's a great acronym if you learn how to say it.
You'll remember it. Yes, you'll remember it. We've been studying this issue for 10 years now. We have a mandate that we educate, agitate, and illuminate. And we're doing it this week, and we've been doing it for 51 years here. The International Women's International League has been, will be actually 100 years old in 2015.
Wow.
I know. We don't look it.
No, you do not.
We
you
don't
do not look
it
at all.
We do. Probably because that massage.
You don't act your age either, by the way.
That's right. We do not do that. And our first president was Jane Addams, and she was. She was a strong, feisty woman, if there was one.
Yes,
she
was. And the
was.
strong, feisty woman reference is not just a casual one. There,
it is not.
I mean, Frances Moore LaPay is a recipient of an award that Will puts out called the Strong, Feisty Woman Award.
Correct. It's our 6th annual.
I will never win.
Well, now I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure.
You're not talking sex change, are you?
Well, no.
Okay,
we
good.
have some wonderful men who support us too.
All right.
But you probably won't get the award.
Okay.
I'm
fine
sorry.
with that.
Okay. But to let you know that Adams was the first American woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize, and she didn't do it by just being peaceful. She sought peace through many ways, and this is what we're doing right now.
And this issue wasn't even on Jane Addams' radar screen 100 years ago.
Well, but this not this issue, but the same problems.
Okay, so what are the problems associated
poverty.
How does GMO crops affect poverty?
We are trying to put the GMO issue, and I say it nicely, issue in context with a broader. As I said, we've been studying corporate power against our what we call democratic system for 10 years now. So when we come to GMOs, it's another instance of a corporate taking over our industrial ag and continuing the fallacy that farming and agriculture needs to industrialize itself, $4,000 or $5,000 acres rather per shot for a farm. Now, when I grew up, we had very small farms.
Right, 160 acres.
Yeah, if we're lucky. And one of the things that I'm personally involved in this issue, not just the GMOs, but then the glyphosate, I think it's called. Idea of the sustainability that's being sold by people like Monsanto.
Yeah, and that's I want to ask you about that.
It's questionable in many ways, in many forms.
Back to the issue. Well, before I go back to the issue of poverty, I want to throw our phone number out there. I forget to do this once in a while, but 288-855-244-0077, or if you're calling locally, it's simply 515-244-0077. Or if you're calling from a cell phone like 90% of you are and it doesn't matter anymore, it's 515-244-0077. The advance of GMOs is being presented as a way to alleviate global hunger.